Remember this?
All airlines have crashed at one time or another. That doesn't mean that they are not safe.
Qantas.
Qantas?
Qantas never crashed.
Qantas?
Never crashed.
Qantas, the famous airline with a great reputation, which is currently being destroyed. What's up everyone, this is the Flight Side of Life, and today we're going to be talking about the downfall of Qantas. I'm going to go through some of the dramas which range from being negligent, dishonest, and downright illegal. Now we all know that COVID-19 has had an unprecedented impact on the industry. We're still feeling it right now. I covered a lot of this in my previous video about flights being so expensive at the moment. If you haven't seen that one yet, the link is in the description below. Now, while COVID-19 has affected all airlines, there simply is no excuse for unethical behavior. Qantas has taken the COVID excuse a step too far. Number 1, Easter chaos and drama. Look, the world is recovering from the pandemic. We're seeing airlines short-staffed all around the world, leading to long wait times. It's no surprise then that during the Easter holiday rush in Australia, it was a very difficult time for passengers. It's one thing to apologise and be compassionate towards your customers during this difficult time, but these aren't words in the Qantas dictionary. Gaslighting apparently is. CEO Alan Joyce went out of his way to blame passengers themselves and said they were, quote, not match fit and should be going through security lines faster. Ridiculous. During this time, Qantas stood out for posting the worst on-time stats since records began over 19 years ago. Just 58.7% of Qantas flights actually arrived on time during the Easter period. That was worse than Virgin and their own budget airline, Jetstar. But wait, there's more. During this Easter airport chaos, Qantas organised a wellness festival with yoga and meditation for all of its executives. So it appears that the company's values are to keep customers stressed, then gaslighted, while the corporate team gets to relax and count their money. Well done, Qantas. Number 2, call centre wait times. With so many flight cancellations and changes, it is inevitable that customers will need to call. Not everything can be done online. Instead of increasing call centre staff, Qantas didn't bother hiring any additional staff. There have been numerous reports of people having to be on hold for 3, 4, sometimes 8 hours at a time. The staff themselves aren't equipped to deal with such complex issues and are very, very poorly trained. Many people who have been on hold for most of their waking day find that when they finally reach someone, they aren't able to even resolve their issue because they're so poorly trained. There have been reports of people being on hold for hours only to be hung up on. This is an absolutely disgraceful attitude towards its customers. Do you want to know the kicker? Qantas has a separate number for its gold and platinum frequent flyers. This is to reduce their wait times, but even these special customers have reported wait times of over an hour, which is absolutely unheard of from this special number that usually gets answered immediately. If this is how they treat their most loyal customers, what chance do you or I have? Speaking of flight cancellations and changes, number 3, flight credit scam. Now, I don't use the word scam lightly, but this is about as close to a scam as you can get. Qantas announced during the pandemic that their fares were fully flexible, and if you needed to cancel, you could use a credit in the future. The trouble is that these credits were so restrictive that they should not count as credits at all. The credit can only be used for a flight that is of greater value than the credit. Found a cheaper flight? Too bad. You can't use your credit. This is a very convenient way of forcing the customer to spend more money. Also, if you'd like to use your credit, it's always going to be more expensive than if you paid for the exact same flight with cash. Don't believe me? Have a look at this.
The angry passengers showed a current affair what happens when you click on the link Qantas provides for those with flight credits. A new flight from Sydney to Brisbane, for example, is $265 each way, a total of $529. But if you don't use the credit link and try to secure flights on the regular booking website, that same 6:10 a.m. flight is only $129. But there's even a new cheaper $99 flight. The other leg at 17:10 is only $139, a total of $238. These customers say they are being directed to a more expensive site and punished because they cancel.
They had to find a way to make more money.
Qantas is deliberately increasing prices, knowing that the customer will be desperate to use their credit. They're being misleading and deceptive by saying the credit was fully flexible, whereas in actual fact, it is not flexible at all. Oh, did I mention that the credit needs to be used within 12 months as well? It's little wonder that the Consumer Affairs body in Australia, the ACCC, is investigating this matter, which alleges that the credit policy is, quote, unfair and unworkable. Now, I mentioned Qantas's budget airline Jetstar, who had a better on-time performance. Well, it looks like Jetstar also has a better flight credit policy as well. Jetstar's flight credit is for a much longer period, can be used for any amount, regardless of whether the flight is cheaper or more expensive. This is absolutely astonishing to think that Qantas is the full service airline and Jetstar is supposedly the budget airline. Reason number 4, the Dallas incident. Now look, airline delays happen. It's normal and there's always going to be a bit of drama. But once again, Qantas took it to the next level. At 2 a.m, Qantas decided that QF8 from Dallas to Sydney would be cancelled. Qantas, however, had no plans to send their customers to hotels or to provide them with any food. People with cash were told to, quote, keep their receipts and organize hotels and food for themselves. What do you think happened to everyone else? Well, they had no choice but to sleep on the floor. Families with young kids told to fend for themselves. There was no Qantas staff to assist or communicate, they were simply abandoned. They were told to arrive at 9 a.m. to check in again, no staff in sight. This is an absolute disgrace. The inhumane way they treated their passengers is unforgivable. And even those who managed to pay for their own expenses, good luck in getting those expenses reimbursed. If the current refund times of 2 to 3 months are anything to go by, they'll be waiting a very, very long time to get their money back. Okay, reason number 5, employee treatment. Okay, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but yes, staff shortages, COVID, you know all the stuff I've been saying. So when COVID first hit, Qantas went ahead and fired 2,000 ground handling staff. This was despite their roles being highly unionized. I think you can see where this is going. A federal court judge found in favor of the union in July 2021 and found that these sackings were illegal. Qantas appealed this to the full federal court, which upheld the same decision on the 3rd of May 2022. Qantas are still appealing this in the High Court of Australia. I mean, you'd think they'd get the message by now, but clearly not. This really goes to show how much they actually view their employees. Happy to do whatever it takes, even if it's illegal. But it's not just the people who got fired. There's the poor souls who are still working there. Before COVID, Qantas had around 30,000 employees. Now that the borders are open, we are back to full capacity. Employee count? 22,000. More than 25% less employees doing the same workload. I personally know many employees who had to pick up the slack and do multiple roles during border closures. They've had to work long hours and have had their wages frozen for 3 years. Once the borders opened, instead of rewarding these loyal employees, they simply didn't rehire some of those older roles and kept this large workload for the current employees. Oh, I'm sorry, the management is rewarding their employees. I'm sorry. Let's see what it says. Oh, a measly $5,000 one-off payment. After tax and dividing that up by 3 years of no wage increases, you can do the math. This so-called reward is really not much, especially when you consider inflation levels of about 5% at the moment. So to summarize, number 1, illegally fire your workers, and number 2, for the loyal ones that stay, double their workload and make sure their real wage goes backwards. Qantas used to be an employer of choice, but their true colors are now showing. Alright, reason number 6, the Qantas PR machine. Now, a lot of my international viewers, and indeed some of my Australian viewers, might be shocked to hear some of the things I've already said. The truth is, the mainstream media in Australia does a very poor job covering these controversies. Why? Simple. Qantas bribes these journalists, pampering them with free flights, lounge access, and premium status. What do you think these journalists do in return? They write the most glowing, faultless articles for this poor excuse of an airline. So amidst all the controversy I've mentioned, what do you think Qantas did? Apologize? Own up to their mistake? No, silly, they put on a grand event to distract us, of course. A PR event for Project Sunrise, which is still 3 years away. This is so typical of Qantas. Yes, Project Sunrise will be a great achievement when it does happen, but the timing of the announcement was quite convenient. Project Sunrise was announced way back in 2017. It is not exactly new. It would be something if the actual special ULR plane was on display, the plane that will actually fly for Project Sunrise. But no, on the day of the event, a standard A350-1000 was brought to Sydney with Qantas letters written on it hastily. Heck, they didn't even bother removing the Airbus paint, it was done so quickly. So why do you think they announced Project Sunrise with a half-baked plane, and why do you think they did it at this time? Simple. They needed something for their dear journalists in the media to distract from the illegal, unethical, and negligent things that they're doing at the moment. Timing is everything. This all about sums up the true sinister, conniving, and arrogant nature of this once great airline. Qantas has done damage to its reputation, a lot of which is irreparable. A once great airline is now imploding. What do you think? Do you think Qantas has lost its luster for good, or is there a way back? Leave a like and comment below. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep flying high.